Hi, Jay. How are you doing?
Good.
Are
You
you?
sound boogery.
I tried to tell him that as diplomatically as I could.
I mean, does it ruin the experience? Nobody listens to this.
No, not at all.
No, it just sounds like you've had a sinus infection and you're getting over it.
Yeah, I had to cancel another interview.
Aw, that sucks.
Yeah, but whatever. It's an excuse to look for jobs in Montreal instead.
You're gonna go to Montreal?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Nice. Until they make it mandatory that everybody has to speak French.
I mean, I can learn French.
You're gonna have to, because nothing's gonna be in English anymore.
I mean, I don't leave my house now. I'll learn how to do my I'll learn how to do my taxes in French, and then we'll move on from that.
That'll probably be the extent of it.
Yeah, I'll
In
learn how to
fact-
say thank you in French to the Amazon guy.
That's merci.
Mercy. I
Yeah.
say it like John Stamos. Mercy.
Oh, I would say it like Braveheart.
How does he say it?
Mercy. Yeah.
Stellar.
Yeah, it's pre-racist Mel Gibson scream.
Is there? Do you think it was pre-racism?
I just like that term, but it's pre-reveal.
Yeah. I was gonna say, wasn't he always racist? He just never was vocal about it.
He hadn't come out yet. He was a closeted
Closet
closeted bigot.
racist.
He was in
Yeah.
the racist closet, the racist cupboard.
Anyhow, usually I am stressing about how we are using your time, Jess, when we're recording. And so I'm trying to like usher you out the door as quick as possible. But the
Mhm.
thing about our invitation tonight is that the story that we're working on is we're kind of reworking from the ground up, and it involves a lot of old plot stuff and is like a main story in our episode tonight. So if you want to hang out as long as you can.
As long as you can, as long as you like.
I don't know how much of a limit you have or whatever. You can come and go as you please.
Okay, so what kind of stuff?
This is the Ghost Hunter.
Yeah, well, I'll give you a little framework of how the original story went, as best as I can recall from my listen through today. There is a man who is a ghost hunter. Is that even correct? It had so many layers.
Yeah, that's just the thing.
There was a reality series.
I think
there was
I
a
listened to
guy-
it 6 times, and I'm still not sure where to start.
There's a guy who made a deal. Okay, so to begin with, we have a character in our crew who is Columbo.
Yeah.
Columbo is a TV detective who wears a trench coat and has curly hair.
Okay.
But in the Tucker and Todd show, that is just a secret identity that is being hidden by an eldritch god. Are you following?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So,
he's basically vacationing on Earth.
How deep do you go with Lovecraftian horror?
I don't know much.
Okay, so when do you have an idea of what an ancient Lovecraftian, like ancient one god is?
Yeah.
Like Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Or a Cthulhu. Okay, so that's he's this dark mystic cosmic beast, but his secret identity is this detective. So this story is a story that we came up with before we had really figured out a lot of our canon. But at the time we said that some guy, a desperate hard up fellow maybe, was starting to get whispers in his ear, in his mind. He was starting to hear voices which were compelling him to hunt ghosts. Tucker, is that correct?
Sounds pretty correct. I think we'll go with that.
The premise of the joke was that there's a ghost hunter is somebody who hunts ghosts, but this is a ghost hunter, and it's like an old fashioned. It's a ghost with a rifle who hunts people who are ghost hunters. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. And there was even a plot point where we decided that the ghost of a ghost hunter that was hunted by this ghost hunter would become the ghost hunter.
Jeez.
Yeah. So we went all over the place with it. And
Okay.
there's a wall of ghost heads.
There's a wall of ghost heads. Yes, the central gag, the most important thing that we must get to tonight, at least at any point if we do anything, a scene that must occur is that there is so I think this guy was convincing people that cuz he had magic spectral glasses.
Yeah,
And
he
he
had
would
spectacles, but I think he was also kind of trying to do his own religion.
Yeah, he had his own religion that was based. Yeah, that's so many things going on.
Yeah, we
But
might want to cut the religion part. We already have cults everywhere.
we have cults abound.
Mhm.
So I think how we should start then is maybe with Columbo to
That
start
seems like a good anchor.
to start somewhere grounded.
I think that was what we were missing before, is an anchor.
Yeah, we need to ground it in something. And so maybe this might even be this might actually solve it a little bit. In our second episode, we established Straight Detective. And in our third episode, we established Columbo. We went and picked him up and rescued him from his cosmic coma that he was in from the one thing. So he's back at the studio now. And we've established that in her spare time, Jay, straight woman, moonlights as a detective.
Oh.
That's episode 2. And so maybe in this episode, straight woman and straight detective and Columbo are kind of bonding over their detectiveness, and they get a case.
Okay.
And you know what? That's perfectly reasonable, because the scene in which Straight Detective is created as a sort of alter ego of the straight woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's basically doing it in a holodeck. She's basically living in a virtual reality simulation of a noir detective novel.
Right. She uses the green screen in the studio to create this reality around her.
Yeah, she's using an entire green room.
Lots of rain and thunder. And
oh yeah, it's never daytime. It's always raining. It's gloomy. Everything's in black and white, except of course for the embers on the cigarette that she never actually inhales.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh, and the brown liquor is brown, but everything else is black and white.
Okay.
It's all the tropes.
Since she likes to immerse herself in a fictional universe to do a lot of her detective stuff, Columbo does the exact same thing. He's a TV detective, which means that they're perfect for each other.
Right. Okay. And actually, maybe instead of they get a case, maybe Columbo finds an old file. Oh, actually, a cold case. We're getting way up your alley.
Perfect.
Jess?
I was just going to say, can it be a cold case?
Columbo has a cold case.
It's going to be positively frigid.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so Columbo gets a cold case, and what do they meet up, and he invites her to help him?
No, here's the gag. Here's submitted for your approval. They're talking about old cases or whatever. They're bonding, and she pulls out a snifter of something or whatever and says a drink, and he says, "I'm thinking something a little stronger." And he goes to the freezer, and as he pulls out his big bottle of vodka or whatever, he sees behind it the coldest case of them all.
He needs to get a pry bar to get it out of there.
It's covered in ice.
It's frozen into the side of the freezer.
Gotta hack it out.
Excuse me a minute. I need to get my chisel.
I'm trying to work the joke into. There, ice cubes, vodka. There's one more thing.
Columbo always says that on TV. That's his tagline.
That's when you know he found the bad guy, is because he's grilling them with the and one more thing.
Yeah, he likes to double back. They'll always say something. They're like, "Oh yeah, well, do you have any proof?" And you're like, "Not really." And then he'll start walking away, but it'll be like, "But one more thing," and then he'll trap them.
One more thing.
That's like his David Caruso sunglasses.
Yeah, exactly like that. That's his thing.
Or his Vincent D'Onofrio slamming a guy against a wall.
Oh yeah, although that thing is, very widespread and shared among many.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so they've got this cold case. I feel like I had another idea. Was I trying to work in a Robert Stack thing?
Possibly Robert Stacks on Stacks.
Stacks on Stacks was going to be a commercial for a restaurant, which I still do like the idea of Stacks on Stacks.
Yeah.
Andre 3000 is there.
Is
I'll
it
have
a
three.
pan-
Do
Is
they
it a-
have waffles?
I was gonna say, is it a pancake restaurant?
Yeah.
Yes.
Pancakes and cold files. Cold cases.
I mean, that's fine because the inviting hole is what? It's supposed to be like a stationary place
Yeah.
as well as some kind of like a cafe.
That's true, yeah.
Like they have
Cafes
donuts.
have breakfast menus.
They have donuts and they have like classy invitation letters.
And waffles. No, that's something different. We'll get to that. Okay, this story is developing. It starts off with these two bonding in are they in the green room then?
Yeah, that was my question, is where are they bonding? The green room seems like a perfect place because then we can make it super moody and then they get to take the opportunity to kind of like turn it off and immediately create a wild mood shift.
Actually, yeah, I like the idea of that because in episode 2, Straight Detective is the third chunk, but it would be cool to start this episode in that noir style so that people who liked that bit are like, ooh, we're going back into this world. And it also allows them to be both like deep in character as they converse with each other and then interrupt it and kind of break the fourth wall a little.
Oh yeah, I'm into that.
Okay, so what should the cold case be? The cold case is going to be related. It's going to be something that Columbo got dragged into a long time ago. And I don't know if it still has to do with, because the whole idea of there being like a wager was that we needed a reason for ghosts to be being created. And so we said that Columbo was coercing some like sucker to was he killing ghosts to send them to get Columbo's numbers up, or was he killing people to create ghosts?
I think it might have been one and then the other. But there were definitely ghosts in particular being destroyed. I guess you can't kill them; they're dead.
Okay, well, I want to what's the word? Source this from Jess a little bit. Then, Jess, do you have like a specific favorite? Because I'm making simple concept associations between people and the things they like. But do you have a specific favorite cold case or a specific favorite? Like when you introduced me to This Paranormal Life, are there specific topics on those shows that pique your interest always, like Area 52 or whatever, or specific famous occurrences that you're drawn to?
Ooh, tropes, anything.
Yeah, I really like the Tunguska. Is that how you say it? Tunguska?
Tuskegee Airmen?
No.
Tunguska incident?
Yeah, the Tunguska event.
Tunguska.
Yeah, Tunguska.
It's
You mean the Tuskers?
No.
Of Northrend?
There are no Tuskars.
The
never be.
Impact.
Tunguska.
12 megaton explosion that occurred near the, I'm not going to try and say that river, and I'm not going to try and say that Russia.
Yeah. So there was actually a lot of really neat, like, leftover remnants from it.
Well, that's it. You know what? This is sort of interesting because in the very beginning of that conversation, when we were talking about ghosts, we were talking about the idea of nuclear explosion. We were talking about footage of nuclear explosions.
Perfect.
And like how some people talk about how in some, I think it was in a, what's his name? Kerouac. Jack Kerouac? No, the other one. Who wrote Dead-Eye Dick? It starts with an F. Vonnegut. Kurt Vonnegut. Sorry, Kurt Vonnegut. He wrote a book about... No, I know, it's a V. Kurt Vonnegut. I'm German or whatever. He wrote a book about a town that was I think that's Dead-Eye Dick that was affected by a nuclear explosion. He talked about the shadows of the people who were affected by it being burned into the concrete.
Oh.
And so I said, wouldn't that be cool if that's how ghosts were made? So I'm liking the idea of the Tunguska event, if you know a lot about it. in a way that it could somehow be related to a mystery that Columbo was trying to solve or had something to do with. Because sort of one of our things that we worked in early was that even though he sells himself as a super competent detective, a lot of the time, because he's a sentient,
Omnipotent.
an omnipotent, omniscient being. He a lot of the time is misleading everybody else in the room and deliberately solving the case wrong, and so that he can cover up his own moves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he spends more time covering up crimes than he does solving them.
So maybe the Tunguska event was one of those cases where he caused the effects that we know about to cover up something worse.
Oh.
Or was trying to solve a case about somebody who did that, or is covering for did Jeff Basilbub cause the Tunguska event?
Jeff
Whatever,
Bezos?
we have our own Jeff Bezos who happens to be the devil, and it's Jeff Basilbub.
Yeah, so in the Tucker and Todd reality,
Mm-hmm.
Amazon is a company called Abaddon, which is an old name for a hell space.
Mm-hmm.
And it is run by Jeff Basilbub, like Beelzebub, and because he is the fallen son of God, who fell to earth, was fell from the heavens, and thinks that if he can get to he's building a space elevator. He's trying to get to space because he thinks if he can go high enough into space, that's where heaven is. But it turns out heaven is another dimension.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how high he's gonna get.
Oh.
And we destroyed his space elevator anyway.
Is there any chance that the Tunguska event was caused by Beelzebub trying to teleport to another dimension, or some kind of machine or ability that he was trying to mine?
Oh.
In an effort to get to heaven?
Are you suggesting that maybe he built something that he was hoping to use to transport him back home?
Yeah.
And did it blow up?
It went awry and caused a few sparks.
Are there theories about what caused the 12 megaton explosion, or is it specifically, was it a nuclear site?
People think it was mostly because there wasn't a crater.
Okay.
So if it was an asteroid, it most likely would have created a bit of a crater, right?
You would think.
People think
is that the operating theory, that it was something from the air hit it?
Yeah, I think the main most recent theory that people kind of say is that it came in, the meteor came in through the earth and just kind of burned up.
Right.
And that flattened everything. I don't know. I still think there was something behind it because
it is classified as an impact event, even though no impact crater has been found. The object thought to have disintegrated at an altitude of 5 to 10 kilometers rather than hit the surface. Right. So it disintegrated 5 kilometers away and then created a sonic impact?
Apparently. But there was also a lot of
sounds like Russian nonsense.
Right? There was a lot of Russian shit. What was the 5 people, the Russian shit, the 5 people that went missing?
The 5 people you meet in Russia?
Yes, that went missing.
In the mountains.
In the mountains.
What
were they called?
What was that?
Dyatlov Pass.
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard of that. All these things have bands named after them that I've heard of.
That's amazing. Yeah.
The Kolatsiako looks like it's called. Wow, I don't understand Russian words.
Dyatlov Pass incidents. As I was reading up on this Tunguska event thing, it occurred to me that it would be kind of funny if the reason that 80 million trees were flattened and the largest unexplained avoidance of an impact, it would be funny if it was caused by the world's fattest invisible person.
It could always be caused by Basilbub falling to Earth.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, get this.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just reading here now that I remember this now. Siberia and parts of Europe experienced abnormally bright nighttime skies for some time afterwards.
The morning star.
Isn't that interesting?
That is very interesting.
Man, this planet is weird and I don't like it.
This planet
And
is weird.
there were, yes, there were lots of like objects that they found amongst the trees and stuff. But I want
What
to
kind of
say,
objects?
I don't know. I want to say from my memory on TPL,
Children's toys.
children's toys. Yes, they were talking about like pieces of metal and stuff, but I don't know.
So I'm actually kind of liking that then. If this is the Tunguska event was literally the impact left behind by by the devil falling to earth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then
And then
the connection we have to make is why Columbo is handing this case off or wants to dust it off. That means that it's not one that he covered up because he's getting somebody to help him solve it.
is he getting someone to help him solve it, or did he simply like he just totally forgot about it and it only happened to come up because they're telling stories and reminiscing? And maybe he's not. Sorry, go ahead.
I think he should like forget about it because it's like at the back of his fridge or freezer or whatever, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, this thing," and like digs it out. You know,
It is the coldest of cases, but if he
Mhm.
wants it covered up, I don't think he wants to give it to her.
Yeah, I don't know if they're reopening it. Oh, are you proposing that she finds it and he's trying to like, no, you don't want to know anything about that.
Oh,
Oh, well, in that case, she should probably catch a glimpse of it and he kind of just tries to brush it off and then she actually just takes it.
I guess one thing to consider, maybe what will help us figure out what this chunk of meat is right here, is to figure out how we're going to transition. We need to figure out the transition to figure out what we're transitioning to. Jesus Christ, English. If we know how we're moving from this to ghosts, maybe that'll help us figure out how they're handling the case.
sorry if
Well,
I missed this.
obviously ghosts are the only witnesses.
What is the case? Is it about Jeff Beelzebub falling to Earth?
That's
It's about
interesting.
it could be about the event, the incident.
Oh, well, so if we're doing sort of a noir thing, is a ghost of the past coming out? Is a ghost going to reopen it? They seek out Columbo saying, "You were involved with this case way back in the day. I'm looking for the ghost of my grandmother. We'd like to help her pass on," kind of thing. And that's when Straight Woman is like, "Oh, can we help with that?"
Alternatively, there is a ghost currently haunting that case and it's been bothering Columbo and he's finally just like, all right, you've twisted my arm, we'll deal with it.
Oh, there's a ghost haunting the case.
Yeah.
Is it like tethered to the cold case in the fridge? There's like a little ghost hanging out in the freezer.
Yeah, it hands him some ice.
Yes, please.
It's
It'd
just
be
like
so cute.
a little like really cold Casper just hanging out in there. Yeah. Boo.
I don't know.
Some kind of
Okay.
ghost fun.
Freezer ghost.
Because then the only way to, get rid of this ghost that's being a nuisance is to solve the case.
Right. And then Columbo isn't solving it out of the goodness of his heart. It's out of to solve an irritation.
Yes, but it does get him to solve it. So he's like, I guess this has gone on unsolved long enough.
So, okay. Is he solving the Tunguska event? Is he going to publicly explain to everyone that, or is he still trying to cover it up?
He'll probably still want to cover it up, but it will, at the very least, be like the whole thing will be known to at least Straight Detective.
Right. Oh, maybe he'll actually get her to side with him and she'll figure out the truth, but he'll convince her as like a moral thing of like, listen, we can give a false solution to this case, to this ghost, for their closure, but for the sake of humanity, we need to make sure that people don't know what happened here.
Oh, I like that. That's probably an opportunity for a little bit of conflict too, because she might initially be of the opinion that the people should know, but then, like by the end of it, she's kind of changed her mind. She's come to understand what actually has happened. the implications of what's happened and the consequences of telling people.
Right. Or is it as simple as the truth is Jeff Beelzebub is the devil? And she's like, well, the world should know. And he's like, no, they can't.
Yeah. And I'm going to assume he doesn't give away any of the answers and that they actually have to go do some detective work.
Okay. Let me write some notes down. We got a story cooking here.
Probably step one is interviewing that really cold ghost.
Is the ghost someone who was there at the event?
Probably, or maybe not right there, but a casualty of it.
Okay.
Either that or it's somebody that Columbo happened to silence while he was covering up the case, which would make them directly connected to the case.
Ooh.
And Columbo.
As a side note, I'm in the recording schedule for dummies part of this lovely Discord, and I see
the peach doll,
and I see the thing, and Tucker's just like, this is just a rubber butt, and I can literally hear him saying that in my head, and it makes me laugh every time. Like, just how, like, disgusted you are. Vile.
That was my mood, because I had to squint. At first I thought that actually was just a peach, and then I'm like, wait a minute. That is just a rubber butt.
Are you serious?
Wow, the resolution on these emojis has got insane.
It's too much.
Utter filth.
Well, actually, if you've ever wanted a peek inside my brain process, that is precisely it. You're a doll, a peach doll, peach doll. This is my hell.
These are the onion layers that are getting peeled away, and at the core there's a rubber ass.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, the center, that is the nucleus of my brain.
That's the chewy, gooey center of the Tootsie Roll.
Yeah, how many licks does that Tootsie Roll take?
Vile.
Oh, it just is such a beautiful part. Like, I want to screenshot it and keep it forever because it's perfect.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
thank you for.
Jesus, that peach looks very vaginal.
Thank you for distracting.
Writing notes.
I hope you wrote all that down.
Just as a side note. Okay, Columbo and J are bonding over detecting. They need a drink. Coldest case ever.
Oh yeah, I see it in my mind now, actually. Columbo goes to open the freezer to get some ice, and there's just a ghost there. He's like, ugh! And he slams the freezer shut. It startles him. He's like, I didn't expect to see you there.
Is it a cute ghost with like a terrifying profile or silhouette or something like that, or is it a hideous, ugly, awful ghost?
Oh, I think it should be a cute ghost that everybody sympathizes with and vilifies Columbo for not immediately wanting to help.
Absolutely.
The most adorable little ghost.
Yeah, only later it turns out that the ghost was like Hitler.
Oh.
Was it turns like out the Hitler ghost... or was Hitler?
Vaguely super evil.
Okay.
Later it turns out that the cuteness was just a facade that tugged on everybody's heartstrings and it, big pathos.
Classic. Like, what's the from Adventure Time?
I don't know. You know Adventure Time better.
I guess it's all of them. It's
everything
it's like
pretty cute in that show.
Ricardio, the George Takei heart, but also an assassin kitten thing that poisons everybody, but it's super adorable.
Nice.
That sort of thing. So everybody loves. I mean, I'm basically imagining Cody, who we haven't established much, but this ghost is going to be very Cody-ish.
Yes, that's pretty much what I have in mind. Is he's got that Casper look where he's just kind of vaguely round and friendly looking. He's got like a
He's-
round head. He's got a round little body.
He's got little
that ghosty
mittens and a
tail.
scarf.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's in there shivering. He doesn't actually feel cold, but it makes him look more sympathetic.
He has like a dopey little chair that he sits on in the corner. It makes him look more pathetic.
Oh yeah. It's a tactic. He's actually a monster.
Okay.
But he's so cute. Nobody knows that till the end though.
Okay, so but the conversation that's going to have to take place with that then. So does he immediately slam the door and he's like, "Oh, never mind,"
Yeah,
so
we'll have it
then
without
Jay
ice.
cries, and
We'll
she's like,
have it
"No,
without
wait
ice."
a second, who was that?"
Either that's the opportunity for Jay to inquire, or Jay didn't see it, and we're gonna do this in 3, and that ghost keeps sneaking up on Columbo.
Oh, interesting. Not in the freezer every time.
Yeah, maybe it's not the case that the ghost is connected to so much as Columbo, and he keeps being wherever Columbo turns until like the 3rd time. Jay finally admits, I've been seeing this ghost all over this place. Why won't you tell me what this is?
Can it be like really awkward where she's like, he's trying to ignore it and she's kind of like, what is happening right now? And it's just vaguely uncomfortable.
Maybe the ghost is waiting for Columbo in the bathroom, but Columbo isn't the one who goes in.
Mm.
Jay wanders in, and the ghost, well, this is awkward.
I'm trying to think of how to pull off a misdirect like that.
He's just kind of sitting on the towel rack. This ghost just continually ambushes Columbo by being where Columbo is going before Columbo gets there.
All right. Well, I guess we can figure out how it establishes itself. We need to figure out what they're saying to each other at this point. Like moving on to how do they?
We gotta get going. So
one of them
I
is
think
introduced to the other. Jay is the one that wants to pursue the case. Columbo doesn't. She at a certain point decides, okay, now we know. Does she need to know? Yeah, because
both Jay and the ghost are basically twisting Columbo's arm on this, and he eventually goes, "Okay, fine." And then he'll have to go into the deeper deep freeze. There's a chest in the bottom of the freezer that is even colder and freezier, and that's where it keeps the cold case.
Oh, I like that. That you like crawl in. There's like a whole like a Mary Poppins bag. You step down into the cellar inside the freezer.
Yeah, God, it's even colder in here.
And then so I guess we need to reverse engineer this a little bit. If we know that ultimately this ghost was part of the cause, is partially responsible, is partially
I think the ghost was a victim.
Oh, was a victim. This ghost was a victim?
Yeah, I mean, the ghost can be super evil without necessarily contributing to the thing that killed him.
Oh, it's totally evil about something else.
Maybe he's so evil that the devil fell on him.
Oh, or
it was like a homing missile.
Or has the devil been co-opting this victim as a like, you do this for me and I'll give you what you actually want. And so this ghost is acting on behalf of the devil as a new project to try to get back into heaven. He needs the ghost to get Columbo to reopen the case, because once Columbo gets on the case, that'll get something moving that'll allow the devil to get back to heaven.
Is there something left over at that site that the devil wants but can't retrieve and Columbo can?
That makes because I was trying to figure out what some of these objects that were strewn about. You said that in where the impact site was, there was just like there was stuff all over.
That one's for you, Jay.
Unless you're gone.
No, I'm still here. Please repeat.
Was there? Were you saying that there was stuff all over at the impact site? They found objects strewn throughout the snow or something like that.
Yeah, there were objects. So I don't know. Make it. You go.
But so I think you said it was like some sort of like stone or something.
I think based on my memory,
metal.
Yeah, it was metal, but it would be funny if you made it some, I don't know, something relevant to Jeff Beelzebub.
Yeah, if it was like his escape pod or something.
Yeah, some kind of cast off heavenly material. But that would also be a reason why he can't just go and get it. He's banished, so he can't like touch any of that stuff now.
Right.
It's heavenly and he isn't anymore.
Oh, is there some sort of interesting... So he's heavenly... No, sorry. It's heavenly. And he's not anymore. And so...
if he can't safely handle it anymore thanks to his banishment somehow, then of course, if he wants it, then he wants to get somebody else to handle it.
Right. And
the
so
ghost can't touch it.
Ghost can't touch it, but the ghost can trick Columbo into taking the case, and Columbo can touch it.
Yes.
Okay, does he need Columbo to bring it across some sort of threshold, or does he only need Columbo to activate it, and his plan is to swoop in once it's activated?
I think the latter. I think the trick is if Columbo sufficiently solves it, it will probably involve maybe reassembling all of these.
Oh, you know what?
parts.
Actually, this is kind of similar to Dogma. Are we doing they need to open the gates kind of thing?
Yeah, I'm assuming that whatever this thing was, if it was like a pod, if it could be reassembled, then maybe Beelzebub assumes that it could be reactivated and he could just go back.
Right. District 9.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And yeah, if he can't do it, then obviously the devil is going to act through an agent.
So his agent is this ghost who is able to play the victim. This ghost is a victim of the event.
Yeah, maybe this ghost is one of the devil's cultists, and he was there to receive the devil. He's like, my lord's finally coming, and then.
Oh, that's interesting. If some group knew that it was going to occur.
Yeah.
How crazy would that be if these cultists summoned the devil out of heaven? He wasn't actually thrown out.
Yeah, they put in a requisition and God just finally answered it.
He was first round draft pick.
Yeah. Fine, you want him? You got him. Hit the big red button and down he goes. But yeah, I think it would be that way the ghost remains unsympathetic in the end because he was always an agent of the devil. He just happened to, die accidentally when he fell. But it also explains why Beelzebub basically gets to boss this ghost around.
All right, and I think I figured out how to work in one of the other references then.
Awesome.
Once they've established that the ghost, once they say Columbo says, yeah, okay, fine, I'll take your case. We need to go, if we're gonna reopen this thing, then I need the help of a cold case expert, and that's when he goes and involves Robert Stack. Columbo and Robert Stack are going to hang out together.
We're still going to bring Stack into this. All right.
I thought we might. I don't know.
I'm all for it. I like more characters.
Well, that's where we could go visit him at his pancake restaurant that he runs. Like he's done with that life. Everybody's moved on. They're all in their whatever now. His retirement gig.
He's a pancake baron now.
A pancake baron, and I'm trying to think of other stacks. To have a stacks on stacks on stacks. It is just stacks of money. He's a financier.
Waffles, stacks of toast,
stacks
eggs,
of cash,
stacks of gold coins, pirate doubloons.
There's smokestacks.
There's the objectification of women stacks.
What's that?
As Cardi B would say, she's stacked.
Oh, I guess there's stacked on stacks on stacks.
Yeah. But we've already done her song, so
her one song, yes.
That's all she gets. There's only so far I'm willing to signal boost Cardi B. Oh, come on, that's like the funniest thing I've ever said.
What just now you said the funniest thing you ever said?
Yeah.
I
don't think I'll ever say anything funnier in my whole life.
Good thing it's recorded.
Yeah, I just joked about how she only gets the one song because there's a limit to how far I'm willing to signal boost Cardi B.
Oh.
It's funny because nobody's going to listen to this.
Nobody cares. Or because their signal has nothing to do with how far you can boost it.
Well, yeah, we don't have a signal with which to signal boost anybody.
Hilarious.
Well, it was. Now it's not.
So are we going to Russia then?
Oh, hell yeah, comrade.
Are we involving some of our Russian characters? Are we involving Puddin' Papa or whatever his name was?
Puddin' and Fox News.
Oh, Fox News are there as well.
Well, maybe not Fox News, but the Fox Network in general.
Oh, is that the joke? It's not run by Soviets. It's run by Fox News people who are dressed like Soviets.
Oh, that would be funny if all of Russia is actually run by Fox rather than the other way around. They have people everywhere.
Yeah, actually, that's getting funnier.
They have friendly people everywhere.
Right. They have everywhere. Redacted.
Redacted.
Only 3 confirmed deaths? No, 3 possible deaths. A few damaged buildings. But 80 million trees. Why did it happen?
That's only however many deaths were reported by the nation in question.
Oh, right.
There could be more.
That's interesting. 10,000 cultists that you never heard of.
Mm.
Yeah, comrade.
Okay, we've got a big chunk of the beginning of this thing figured out. We've got some moving parts for where to go.
Yeah, if we're going to cut out the trading card game, I think we can afford to continue on at least a little while longer.
I didn't even realize what time it was.
9:05.
9:05. I think we basically know how we want it to end, right?
In some kind of weird calamity that doesn't work out for Basilbub.
Well, we need, so for some reason straight woman is going to agree on the stakes that, like, okay, because she needs a reason, a motivation for why she thinks everybody needs to know that the Tunguska event was actually the landing of the devil in the world, and he's now a major player in the world economy or whatever. She's going to need a motivation to want to tell everyone, and then she's going to have a reason that convinces her not to. I think those kind of might be the most important pieces.
Right? Well, how about just like that general sort of journalistic bent of the people deserve to know the truth regardless of what the truth is as a central motivation for solving the case? Let's assume that she doesn't know until the case is more or less solved that it's actually the devil.
Right.
Let's assume she doesn't know these answers until the end. The part where we involve the devil is probably why she decides that maybe humanity doesn't need to know after all.
Right.
That
right.
might also
Okay.
have something to do with Columbo revealing a little bit of what he is, because he's a walking, talking truth that humanity was never supposed to know.
Interesting. So maybe actually then, is there some sort of hint early on that the event has something to do with Jeff Basilbub? Nobody knows that Jeff Basilbub is the devil. They just know that he's a CEO. Maybe it's not even to do with him. You know how Marvel's always throwing Howard Stark into stuff? He was like at the root of everything. Maybe Abaddon had something to do with the event, and there's some sort of
there's evidence of a cover-up.
Yeah,
There's
a big
evidence
corporate
of a
cover-up.
Yeah, it might have corporate interests. That is the kind of thing that our straight detective would be really adamant about revealing the truth of. This corporation is at fault. People died. They need to be held accountable.
Yeah, there's this big conspiracy. Okay.
She is full of integrity.
Chock-a-block.
She's too good for us.
Okay. So would that revelation of the link be made while they were still like at the studio and discussing taking the case with this ghost, or would that come out after they went to Robert Stack and said he's the expert on cold cases?
I'm going to assume that they go through the case files together, and it of course it gives them more questions than answers, so they agree that they have to go and talk to somebody who knows more about the situation. There's somebody, maybe there's a name. Stacks in particular was stated to be, one of the people that was interviewed in the case, but a lot of his answers are like redacted, blacked out. So they need to go and talk to him and find out what was covered up and what was removed.
Okay, I like that.
Because blah, 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 maybe that in the case somewhere Abaddon gets mentioned, and so there's some kind of evidence of a corporate cover-up. So they go talk to this guy who knows.
That's interesting. Jess, are you there? I just had an idea.
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you want your character to be a fangirl of Robert Stack? She uncovers, we see all these redacted statements in the case files, and she's like, wait, the Robert Stack was interviewed for this? And then they're like, yeah, I guess we could go get some information from him. But she's like awkward and shy and fanning out the moment she meets him.
Absolutely.
Oh, she rocks on her heels and like rings her hands together. She's afraid to look at him.
Starstruck.
He asks her a direct question and she looks at the floor and she's just like a shy child.
Are you a starstruck kind of person in general?
Oh, 100%.
Really? Have you met famous people?
Yeah, when I was younger, I met famous people and bawled my eyes out. But as an adult, I went and met Sam and Frodo at Fan Expo, and I don't think I actually spoke. I just made gestures. I made gestures and smiled really big, and that was
No,
that.
when you say you met Sam and Frodo, did you meet Sean Astin and Elijah Wood, or did you meet people dressed as Sam and Frodo?
No,
She met the people from the book. Get real.
Yo.
I met the real people.
Okay.
She met Elrond.
You
Elrond.
met fat men in Frodo suits at the mall.
Oh my god. And when I was at Disneyland meeting, like, I know they're not the real characters.
mascots.
I logically
You
understand
met Mickey
this.
Mouse.
No, not Mickey Mouse, but like the princesses, and I met Jack and Sally, and I was totally like a little kid. Like, it was so dumb.
Were you a little kid?
No,
No.
she regressed into a little kid.
Oh.
Yeah, like full out me as an adult, like, hi.
Okay,
Okay, so that is
Then
our
we're gonna-
frame of reference then.
Yep, we're gonna harness that, and we're gonna run a field goal with it.
Yep. But like, it's
so
funny because it's extra funny because straight woman's so like mean and collected all the time,
Right,
until
yeah.
she meets a celebrity that she loves.
Yeah, this weird obscure celebrity.
I love it.
But it definitely gets her attention, and that's all the more reason and justification for her to like further twist Columbo's arm into going to see him.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Columbo and Stack kind of know each other. They have like a cool kind of like begrudging relationship.
Yeah, I know him. Yeah, whatever. It's whatever.
Oh, is Stack suspicious of he's kind of on to Columbo's case?
Oh,
He doesn't
interesting.
totally have it figured out, but he has like suspicions. They've got that sort of thing going on. I know there's something weird about you.
Maybe that's the opportunity. Maybe this is the guy who has that Charlie Day thing.
Oh, with
the wall of clues. But the audience doesn't see it until Columbo leaves, and that's when he goes and
Pepe
sees
Sylvia.
it. And Pepe Sylvia, and he goes and he adds a new clue to the wall once Columbo leaves.
I'm sorry, I'm just watching Pepe Sylvia.
Yeah. This is Straight Detective's celebrity crush.
Hey, wait, what?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah, if we get Robert Stack, he takes us into his back room at his like office where he does his paperwork for the restaurant. He's like, I got something to show you. I don't know how he talks, but that's what I'm giving him. And he's just this deranged, like obsessive freak.
Oh, how long does it take before the crush gets erased? Or does it
so
persist?
fast?
Or does it persist?
It gets erased so fast.
She's so starstruck that she can't even see him for what he is.
I mean, that's a classic cartoon misdirect where she has a moment and she's staring in awe at this beautiful mind scene stretched out in front of her, and we play it as she's disgusted, but after a beat she's like, the organization is incredible. She's coming up close, like, your color coordination of this yarn is second to none.
Oh my god, that would totally.
That's not yarn. That's actually my licorice. And then he eats it. She's like, I love licorice.
Yeah, she can't be dissuaded.
She loves him too much. She just recontextualizes it right before their eyes.
And I mean, Columbo's okay with that because he needs it to be misdirected and not solved. So he's fine with her getting all sandbagged by this guy.
And it probably makes Columbo a little bit more at ease because it turns out this guy really doesn't know anything about him.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, so he has the little anime sweat thing in the corners. He's like, ha ha, that was so close. He blushes.
Yeah, he was like, oh, I almost lost my cool there. Since we're still doing Grinch references.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's airbag's a bit slow.
That's what these tests are for.
Lost my cool there.
I can't help it if that was a fantastic movie. That was so quotable.
Yeah, I don't trust anybody who doesn't like it.
No, it was one of Jim Carrey's finest hours.
Well, it was just in time. It was right before he lost his goddamn mind. I think. When did Man on the Moon come out versus that one?
Moon came out earlier.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then it's a redemption story, and that's even better.
Man on the Moon, 99. Grinch, Carrey. Grinch came out 2000. You're right. Well, that's why that's why. That was the cusp. That was right before he lost it.
When he started doing art pieces,
When he lost himself in art pieces, yeah. And
like
he started,
Eternal Sunshine.
yeah. Actually, Eternal Sunshine is one of my favorite films of all time. I forgot about that one. And that's like what, 2004?
It was so artsy.
But it was so good.
2004, yeah. Anyways, not that I hate Jim Carrey, but I think some of the whole like Jim Carrey is not real. I am not a thing. All that. What's it called? Who is that guy who did the Tao books?
What? Oh.
I can't remember his name. Alan Watts. When Jim Carrey became Alan Watts, I kind of like unsubscribed.
You can't unsubscribe to people.
I can do whatever I want. That's funny. I unfriended Jim Carrey. It turns out I've been schizophrenic this entire time.
I unsubscribed. There's a box in my mind, and I unticked it.
Yeah. Okay, we've visited Robert Stack. It turns out he's a lunatic.
But he does have clues.
He does have clues, and so I guess we're gonna the one oh he has the clue pertaining to that links Abaddon to the event, right?
Yes, he's got the clues they're looking for. It's really clear that he's bungled up the case he's building on Columbo.
Right.
But that's because Columbo is one of those truths humanity was never supposed to know, so even like conceiving of his true form just drives people crazy. Investigating Columbo has driven this guy mad.
Excuse me. I didn't do that on purpose.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Teehee.
Investigating Columbo has driven this guy crazy.
That's good. But he has a clue, and so does that clue send us to, what is this, Siberia, Russia? Where are we going?
Yep, they're going to Russia.
Ooh, can we go on a train? Can we take the Trans-Siberian Rail?
That's better than my plan.
What was your plan?
Have Stan fly a helicopter.
That is in his skill set. And we have him back. Oh my god, so much potential.
I keep promising to put him in a helicopter, and I still haven't.
Do we land the helicopter on the Trans-Siberian train?
Ooh, that would be one of those cool
action
sequences, yeah. While it's moving. Remind me again why we're doing this. Don't ask questions.
Yeah, remind me why we didn't just get on the train at the airport.
Yeah.
A guy owed me a favor. Why
do you hate fun?
Do we know what the link is between, like, what is the corporate cover-up? Does that matter? It's just like a name on a document.
I'm going to assume Abaddon was partially involved or maybe even in charge in some of the like cleanup efforts, the environmental cleanup efforts that went on in the aftermath of that. And it involved, like misconduct, like bribing people who were witnesses to say that they saw something else or mishandling of stuff that they were cleaning.
Yeah, I was going to say even there's a discrepancy in the numbers of like there's so many pounds, so many tens of thousands of pounds of something that were claimed to have been burned, but that doesn't match up with like the amount of whatever that was listed as burnable or something like that.
Yeah, so I think because corporate interests love to get involved in stuff like that. In this instance, there was oversight, but they were misreporting, misrepresenting exactly what they were doing in that area, in those woods and all that. So, but it got covered up sufficiently, and that's what the evidence is. Proof that there was something that they didn't tell, that they didn't report.
And we found maybe one of the files that Stack had was like the deed or like the property paperwork or whatever for some location within that region that is still to this day owned by Abaddon.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Somebody got their land bought out from them because they're probably that's where we actually want to go. That's where the stuff that they couldn't move is. They couldn't move it, so they had to buy the land under it.
Okay, I like that.
Also, one of the clues that Stack should have is one of the pieces of metal.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, they must be brought together.
And that obviously maybe was part of Jeff Bezos' plan then as well, was to have that he needs that extra piece brought back to, like, it's the last piece he's missing, or is it
Yeah.
an unnecessary piece? I don't know.
It's probably a necessary piece. It might not be the very last one, but it's among the unaccounted for bits. They need it for sure. Why do I have more energy than you?
I don't know. 1 second. I still have the vid. I keep wanting to call it the HIV, and I don't know why. I'm just gonna grab some more coffee.
I think you call too many things a HIV, and that's why. Jesus, what a mess.
He needs to pull himself together.
Okay, let's come up with the conclusion for this thing.
That was the fastest coffee break I've ever seen.
Well, I just needed to grab it. I didn't drink it all.
Do you just
Except-
regularly not keep your coffee where you are?
Well, I mean, I have a.
Where'd you leave it?
Well, no, I mean, I a refill. I needed to refill my cup from the pot.
Oh, you just had a pot on?
Yeah.
On standby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the proper way.
That's the way to do it.
That's the way Charlie Day does it.
Yeah.
He's got 6 pots on standby.
My dad used to drink 10 to 14 cups of coffee a day, and when I think about that now, that blows my fucking mind back.
That's wild.
That makes me
That's
feel
scary.
pretty sick just thinking about it.
So the episode wraps up with them solving it, but there's 2 solves, one that they tell people and one that they have to keep hidden, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Kind of the link that we got to do right now is between the last thing they were heading there on a train. They have discovered this location in I was going to say, yeah, not Serbia, Siberia. In Siberia, which has been bought up and owned to this day by Abaddon. And we, as the creators of the story, know that they are in possession of all this stuff that couldn't be gotten rid of in the cleanup back then. And Abaddon, Basilbub is there now. Is he going to be there now? Is that what we're doing?
Are we going to directly encounter the devil, or are we just going to continue to encounter his agents for now?
I think you're right that we shouldn't encounter him.
He's the shady figurehead. We'll probably just meet his minions.
Yeah, you know what? We didn't really because we are going to be doing. He has his actual introduction in season 2. We can just start hinting at his company and his existence in our world now with this kind of stuff. We don't need to meet him.
Oh, we're gonna start building him up.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yep, we're in transit on our way to this. It's gonna probably turn out to be a compound, as these things so often.
They so often are. Is it the compound from? Is it the Russian compound from Stranger Things?
I know what I think it had to be. Except it's Fox logo.
Right. Yeah, it's all Fox. Collusion between Fox and Abaddon.
Even in hell.
So we've landed a helicopter on a train. Does the train stop at just this place? It just happens to have a stop at the compound.
Oh, I think this is an opportunity for us to do the jump off of a moving train action sequence. Who doesn't love that one?
That's a great one. And then
they land in a snowbank and they're like, yeah, they land in the snow.
Well, I thought why we had a helicopter.
They watch it kind of like fall off the train. There it goes. How do we get out of here? Oops.
Oh, is that the joke? We hop off the train and they're like, okay, now what? Now we use the helicopter. We see the helicopter disappear over the horizon on the train.
Yeah, it just goes with the train.
Yeah.
We use a helicopter.
Which is basically that's the trebuchet gag from Holy Grail. Well, now we sneak out of the rabbit while they're sleeping.
Oh man, that's how you know it was planned by Stan.
Yeah,
it's like I don't know why anybody had me plan this. I'm high.
Oh, is this now a recurring gag where we say, "Okay, what's the plan, Stan?" And he says, "Okay, now we hop in the helicopter." And the helicopter disappears. Stan.
Why do we love him so much again?
Because he's cute and fluffy.
Yeah, I think he's been implanted into our memories like Queen Bey.
And he has a big dumpy.
Oh right, I forgot about that.
He's got the badonk that don't quit.
Yep, he's
Don't stop.
He's
He's
packing
got
a butt.
a big dumper.
Yeah, he's got a big
Yeah.
dumper that goes squeaka.
I forgot that he squeaked.
Yeah, when you poke his dumpy, it goes squeaka.
Does his belly squeak too, or just his ass?
I can't remember. That was a
And
long
do
time ago.
we never poke his belly because it's too close to copyright?
I think so. Can't recall. We're in a snowbank.
Are
we?
our characters dressed for the weather?
Excuse me.
Good God. Just unanimous. Good God.
Just mean-animous.
You never do this when she's not here.
I don't know about that. Do we use some sort of plot contrivance at this point?
Jay.
Yeah.
Is Straight Detective smart enough to dress for winter in Siberia?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Is she the only one?
Yes,
I
she's
think
the
she
only
should.
one.
Yeah, she's the only one that was smart enough to bring clothes.
It's like that scene in Dumb and Dumber where only one of them had mittens.
Oh yeah.
Is she kind enough to then let us all bundle into the same coat then?
No.
We all bunch into the coat?
Only Robert.
Nobody's
Stack.
and Stan gets a pass.
He goes in the pocket.
Yes. Jay loves Stan, that's canon.
Mm.
He has lots of bad ideas, but she loves him. She's always carrying that dumb bear around.
And
he's so fluffy.
He's got that fat rubber ass.
That fat ass. That dumper.
That bear butt. He's bare naked.
Oh.
Ha 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 ha.
Bare naked except for the logo on his belly.
So she's the only one that's warm.
Yeah, Columbo is suspiciously not bothered by the cold.
Oh, of course not.
He just lights a cigarette.
Oh, that's interesting. Does the snow actually melt around his footsteps or anything like that? Or freeze? It freezes around his footsteps.
It gets even snowier.
Yeah.
I can't decide whether an eldritch creature should be cold, warm, or just have basically no temperature.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't know. I guess no temperature makes the most sense. He has 0 cold transfer or heat transfer.
Yeah, he doesn't even have any like electrons.
He does not obey the law of thermodynamics.
Yeah, so there's no heat transfer or any of that.
Okay, is our transition from Snowbank to, it happens that the place we needed to be was conveniently actually just right over here? Or is it a magical, or not necessarily magical, but like a plot contrivance transition where I don't know.
I think this is an opportunity for another one of our travel montages where it shows them hiking through like a blizzard, and then we can see like straight woman. She's in a parka, she's fairly comfortable. And then Columbo's in just like his overcoat. He's nonchalantly walking behind her.
Oh,
we get a travel montage of various levels of severe winter weather, but then like the camera can zoom out and they've walked 20 paces. We can see their footprints.
Like a send me on my way montage where they are kind of animated, rooted in spot, and then the weather changes several times around them.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I know we just did our travel montage where it was designed to look like they traveled much farther than they actually did, but that never stops being funny.
Well, that can even be written in as a gag of like, it feels like every time we go somewhere, it's never as far as we think it is.
Yeah, and to be fair, they're traveling in Siberia in winter, so I'm sure it feels a lot farther than it is.
In Russia, tro snavels you. I couldn't even say the word tro snavels.
What?
Snow travels you.
Travels you, comrade.
In Fox, Russia.
Very nice. Okay, so they reach the compound.
Soviet foxhole. I lost my leg in Soviet foxhole.
Man.
What were you saying?
We're at the compound.
We're at the compound.
If we go on much longer, this is actually going to become a 2-parter.
Yeah, we need to wrap it up because we're not going to spend a lot of time on what even was the other one, the himbo astrologer. It's basically written out. I think we just need to actually, it involves a Eldritch horror as well at the end of it. So let's wrap this really quickly.
Yeah, it could be Columbo's uncle.
Columbo's uncle. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, or one of the friends, because I think we found out he was exiled from something at one point too. I don't remember.
Yeah, it seems like the only people we encounter are rejects.
It's the island of misfit toys.
That's exactly what our little universe is.
The universe of misfit toys.
Except for Queen Bey.
Yeah, of course.
We love Queen Bey.
Okay, let's solve this very quickly. What do we find at the compound?
We find angry Russians.
Many angry Russians.
What did you say, Jess?
So many angry Russians.
So many angry Russians, but they're all Fox. Okay, are these all Fox employees or Abaddon employees?
Ooh.
Could it be that the land is owned by Abaddon but being loaned to Fox? Abaddon probably doesn't want to be having, like a direct presence here.
Right.
After that whole cover up, they tried to cover up the fact that they owned this land in the first place. So the last thing they're going to do is have a building there with their name on it. They probably don't want anything there that ties back to them.
Is it so? Is it a Fox studio then? They're shooting like season 37 of The Simpsons or something like that, or
I think we should say
Fox News.
It's 137.
137. Okay.
It must be. In between takes, Homer Simpson is like, "Please just let me die."
Oh, it's literally.
I'm so tired.
Did you see? I think I've mentioned it before. You know the intro that Banksy did for The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Where they've got all like the unicorns in the sweat factory producing DVD copies with their horns or whatever.
Yeah.
So we've got a slave labor situation, kind of like that. All of the employees of Fox are all in this concentration camp in Siberia.
That's exactly where I figure that they should be if they're being held against their will like that.
Okay, I like that. Actually, do we find Joshua here? Here's where he's
probably
being held prisoner. Okay.
Yeah, he's probably we can probably see him in a window, still being held in the same grungy basement that we just showed him in. Oh, hey, Joshua.
I like that Tucker and Todd are not in this at all.
Yeah,
that's great. Okay, so we arrive.
This was straight detectives' time to shine some more.
Yep. We've arrived at the studio. Are we there? So do we say then that we're there for like a studio tour or something like that, or are we posing as not what we are?
I assume that our crew gets immediately accosted by Russians, and they don't have a getaway helicopter or anything, so they're probably taken prisoner immediately.
Oh, that's an effective way to. That always works. Okay, now they're in the Fox dungeon.
Yeah, they're brought in. That's an opportunity for a sort of montage as they're being dragged through the halls for them to like see various rooms in the Fox studio, so we can go past the Simpsons room. Yeah. We can find the one that Joshua happens to be strapped out to a steel chair in.
Do we know that guy? We don't know that guy.
He's still being forced to watch an edited version of the interview he did with us. Maybe he's watching our reaction to his reaction.
I like that.
Then Tucker and Todd are in this episode. A little bit.
They wave.
Ugh. Fourth wall. What even is that?
Okay, so
back.
They get thrown into a cell with somebody who's been there for decades or centuries or something, somebody who's related to the case, and this is the person who's going to like reveal all the secrets or whatever.
Oh, it turns out it's actually Charlie Day.
Oh, and Charlie Day is there.
He's got a very suspiciously similar looking board to the one Stax had.
Because Stax is still with us, right?
I guess he is. Jay just kind of brought him along.
Oh,
she's like, I found him. Can I keep him?
Is this when Jay realizes that she's not actually attracted to Robert Stack? Is she sees Robert Stack next to a guy who's very much like him, and then she starts the cracks start to show a little.
Either that, or she's incredibly attracted to both of them. Which of those is scary. Funnier? Which of those is funnier?
That sounds awful.
Pepe Sylvia. That kills me. Okay, anyway, the ghost is going to let them out of their jail cell.
The ghost?
Yeah.
I thought the ghost was evil.
The ghost is evil, but the ghost still wants them to do the job that the ghost convinced them to come here to do.
Okay.
Right. So where is that taking place? Is that on this compound? How did that work? This is
they're in
the
jail.
item. Right.
They're in jail. The ghost opens the cage for them. They didn't get frisked on their way in. These are Fox employees. They're not good at their job. So they still have their case file. They have Dan. They have the like discarded piece of whatever heavenly metal.
Yeah.
The rest of
Heavenly
it-
metal.
That's
Judas Priest.
That's a band now. At least it's a song. But they have everything they need. They get let out by this ghost who's, the ghost still wants them to do their task.
Mm-hmm.
They have all the information. The other pieces are in this compound.
In their like vault or something like that.
Yeah. I'm going to assume that there's a little section of this building that does have like the Abaddon logo on it that no Fox employees are actually allowed into.
Oh, but it's like tented off or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
That's where they gotta go. So we gotta do another travel montage. This time it's a sneak montage with lots of little violin strings. And we gotta do the sneak, and then we're gonna do Scooby-Doo hallway chase scene.
Oh, perfect.
Because one of the guards is gonna see us, so we gotta bamboozle him.
So they do the twiddly little tippy toes, and then their ins and outs of all the different doors and whatnot.
Yep, and eventually we're gonna trick them to being the whatever guard finds us is now stuck in a room with Stax and Charlie Day. And they're both gonna, I don't know. Eventually, he's gonna get tired of hearing their theories and kill himself.
He's stuck.
Yeah, he's stuck with them.
So do we abandon them there then?
Oh, absolutely.
And so at this point, then is Jay over them, and so she's fine with them being abandoned, or does it take them being abandoned to like shake her from the spell that she was under?
The spell probably wears off. She's like, yeah, you know what? I'm okay with this.
She walks past them and sees them talking to the guard or whatever, and realizes, oh, like when I see it, and when I step back from it a little.
Yeah, I see it now.
Yeah.
I assume that the guard pretty quickly gets like weird swirly eyes and is now just kind of in a trance.
And then that affords them the opportunity to duck into the Abaddon section.
Precisely.
Which is all radioactive and glowy and hummy.
Oh yeah, it's gonna have it'll probably have a totally different aesthetic. It'll be very similar to whatever we were imagining for the space station.
Right, okay.
Because Abaddon has a very consistent sort of technological aesthetic. Probably lots of black metal and red lights that are unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like
evil.
Red strip lights that are just everywhere.
Empire colors.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to hop off to go to bed.
Okay, you go to bed.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for hanging out so long.
Yes, thanks for helping and joining.
Yeah. Do you need any other stuff, or do you think you got it from here?
I think we got it from here.
You got Straight Roman figured out.
We got her figured out. We got our inspiration for what the case was going to be figured out. We got some bit players.
Perfect.
Awesome.
We would still be at square one without you, though.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you. Yeah.
All right. And have fun the rest of your
Thanks so much.
recording.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Good night. Bye.
Try not to dream about Charlie Day.
Yeah.
All right. So we've made it into the evil empire's their closed off section. We're expected.
Oh, that's kind of funny. You just put me that there's. Oh, I was gonna say no. Abaddon is Jeff Basil Bubba is not there, but I guess whatever familiar or agent that he has, I was gonna do another looking for this gag.
Yeah. Well, we've got the ghost, but maybe the ghost, like we turn around and suddenly the ghost is gone.
We've got the ghost.
His job was he was with us. The ghost was with us. He let us in here and then like kind of disappeared out of the frame while we were looking around or otherwise occupied. We look back, we're like, where do we go now? Oh, I guess you're gone.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Did we give him a name? I don't remember if we gave him a name, the ghost.
We'll have to talk to Jay about that.
Yeah, but
damn it, I guess we did need her.
One of those things where it's like, so is this Steve? Is this what it's supposed to look like? Steve? We look back. He's not there anymore.
Oh, is that the opportunity for us to turn back once again and for someone else to be there?
Oh, that's interesting, especially if it's similar to, because you did the comedy in threes of Columbo ignoring the ghost. If we reveal the new guy the same way that we reveal the ghost, that could be interesting.
Oh, do you have an idea?
Well, it's just the jump scare. Like you had said, there's a ghost in the fridge, and it's startling or whatever. And then one time it's on the coat rack or whatever. But just to introduce it as the same style of the camera pans over, and suddenly it's there with the grin or whatever.
The freezer open is a lot like this.
Yeah.
Too spooky.
Is that Jared Padalecki? Is this like
Yes.
a spoof of Supernatural?
I think that's actually set during an episode.
Oh. That's kind of funny.
But I think it's supposed to be one of their alternate reality episodes where they're not, Monster Hunter guys.
Oh, that's interesting. Too spooky.
Yeah, they did that a couple of times where they were just not those guys. They were turned into regular Joes.
See, right above that, all I can see is the underlined Carol of the Pepe Sylvia thumbnail. And I can just hear him screaming, Carol! Carol! This whole clip lives in my brain.
Rent free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's never moving out neither. And I won't make it.
I was thinking that we should do that as a premise one day, a sketch about things living inside brains rent free. Several interpretations of mooching.
Oh, yeah.
The brain super keeps trying to throw them out.
Okay, so we've been jump scared by this guy. Is he totally non-threatening? Is it one of our existing characters?
Oh, so this guy is an agent of the devil.
Yeah, could it be Basil Fawlty? He's pretty evil.
Basil Fawlty. Well, yeah, because are we doing a reversey thing here where the other guy was misleading? He seems like he's really kind, but he is actually an evil guy. This guy looks visibly very evil, but it is going to turn out to be our friend in this case.
Friend, or maybe just like benign, really polite.
Yeah.
Is it literally? Maybe it should be Vincent Price.
Vincent Price. Oh, who we've introduced. I was going to say that's interesting. I was going to say it's Bernard from the Santa Claus, like the head elf. David, whatever his name is.
We're startled, but he wants the piece that we've got.
Yeah, I like that. That kind of like, yeah. I need that.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that. This little thing.
Oh, is he the kind of Bernard thing, like the sort of like the heated, impatient, I need to get this done, but I'm a nice guy kind of thing? Like, yeah, you traveled all the way here with the item. You think I'm not going to need it?
Oh, he is impatient.
What do you think it is that we're doing here?
Yeah, why'd you come out here? Does that mean that's an opportunity for an exposition dump where he explains exactly what it is and why they're not going to tell anyone?
Oh, are you telling me that you marched out all the way here into the middle of Siberia at a very specific name of a location which is being used by the company as a site for X, Y, and Z conspiracy, and you thought that you weren't going to bring me the MacGuffin, which is the central piece of our plan to X, Y, and Z, as was conceived by blah, 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 blah.
The frickin' devil himself?
That's when Stray went, wait, what a second? One second?
Yeah, can you repeat that?
The what, the who now?
And then that's his opportunity to, I guess, for the third time, he has to pull out the Pepe Sylvia board. It's like this.
Oh, we do an abridged version of the Pepe Sylvia speech again. It's fast and zoomed up or whatever. Or it's a montage quickly panning as everybody watches. And then at the end, he does the one little detail. And that's when everybody goes, oh.
So it was the devil. Nice to see you've been paying attention. So
if you would, please very much, hand it over then. And that's when they do like, okay, just 1 second, just a little aside. And that's when Columbo and Straight Woman do their weighing of whether they are going to hand it over. Wait.
Just one more thing. Yeah, I'm torn on how to end this, especially because they don't have a way home now.
Right, I am torn on how to end this, because if they hand it over, then the devil wins.
Well, here's the thing. is I had kind of decided all along that it still won't work. It's a long shot. This is just another one of Beelzebub's,
Yeah.
shotgun approaches to try and do whatever he can, because it for the same reason that he hasn't been able to touch any of this stuff, he can't use it. It won't activate.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Or does it? It does activate, but he simply can't use it. He can just
Oh.
like look at it doing its fancy, glittery, shiny thing.
No, I've got it. This particular servant, he's going to be a polite but slightly curt butler type.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna have to be Harvey Keitel
Oh, that's fun.
as the wolf from Pulp Fiction.
I don't know. I was once again imagining Harvey Keitel as the FBI guy from National Treasure.
Well, he was also the devil in Little Nicky.
Oh, that works.
But I'm thinking of him as Winston Wolfe. He solves problems. But in this instance, Winston Wolfe, the devil, whoever Harvey Keitel is today, he's got all the other parts. He's just going to take this missing sliver and put it onto the device, and then it's going to activate and go immediately back to heaven.
Oh, it does the big dramatic building of potential energy, and then just it's gone.
Yeah, it's got the audible charge up, and he's like, yes, the master will be pleased.
Yeah.
The master will be pleased, and it's just powering up, and it's
Zoop.
and you can and then it's it just like it goes pop, exactly like that.
Yeah.
And it winks out of this reality and it goes back. It's whatever activated it caused it to go home. I had activated the go home protocol, and of course now he's crestfallen. Oh, the master will not be pleased. But guess what?
Is there
Dan
a point?
found a helicopter.
Is there sort of a point then where they're talking about you need to hand it over, and it's been revealed that it is related to the devil, and so Columbo's like, oh yeah, right here, and he starts handing over the piece, and that's when Straight Woman is like, no, we can't let this happen, and he gives her a little wink of like, trust me, like just a little trust me, and then when it pops back into the heaven realm, that's when he kind of like gives her the elbow of like, I told you so. Columbo knew.
Yeah, Columbo probably did know. He knew it wouldn't work, and that's why he was never in a hurry to get it to happen anyway.
Coldest case ever. Clink.
Oh yeah, I like that. That's the best place for the whatever it is. They've gotta like find a way out of there. They're like, we have to get out of here now, and then they find some kind of special vehicle. Maybe it's like an awesome VTOL, but
They find a weird portal back into the freezer.
But whatever it is, we don't need to have an extended scene of them getting out of there. It can just be like, look what we found, a vehicle to get us out of here. Badass, like, Abaddon Tech VTOL that looks like one of those crazy VTOLs out of, like, the Tron movie.
Or
but then it can smash cut to them clinking glasses later to the coldest case ever. They're right back where they started, bookended it.
Oh, okay, I like the smash cut. Yeah, I was gonna say, do they crawl out of? They just like climb up some stairs, and they literally crawl out of the deep freeze that they had crawled in. He crawled into earlier. The deepest deep freeze. The deepest deep freeze was Siberia. The whole time they could have just crawled in through the freezer.
Yeah. There's room for a post-credit scene where Columbo goes into the freezer and there's like a Russian guy who just hands him a box of ice. And then it shows a Russian guy on the other side. He's just like reaching into like what looks like a bin of firewood on the outskirts of that same building in Siberia.
Their little one-way box.
Yeah. But I do like the idea of the smash cut where it just immediately comes in with the tink of glasses to your first cold case.
Especially if it's like a nice like visual transition of like, oh, it zooms out of like a landscape shot of these like mountainous range wherever in Siberia, and then the mountain angles transition into ice cubes in a glass.
Oh yeah, I like that a lot. That's cinematic.
Yeah.
Yep. That's them. They get into whatever vehicle they're getting into. They fly it out of there into the horizon. There's the mountains, and then it transitions neatly. Those mountains are now ice cubes. And then the two glasses come together into a clink. And there's Columbo saluting Straight Detective on her first ever cold case solve. The coldest case.
I don't feel like I really solved it. And he says, well, that's what keeps it cold, darling, or whatever.
That's why it's cold. It's
Jesus. That's what
You
keeps
learned-
them frosty.
You learn the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still don't know what Stax was after. Never mind that.
Yeah, at the end of it all, I wouldn't mind knowing what Stax was after.
Some mysteries were meant to stay that way. Cough, cough, significant wheeze.
And then the frozen ghost joins them? Or is he taken care of? What do we do with him?
He did. He abandoned us at
He's just
at
gone.
that compound. We never even
do-
got to see that he was evil.
Do we get a post-credit sequence with him like curled up in the lap of like next time gadget next time?
Oh yeah, we don't get to see his face, but we see his villainous hands with a signet ring, and it's got the A on it, and it's red.
Yeah. And he's given his like he's what's the word, kind of like cowering as he gives his reports of why it didn't go right.
Yeah, somebody. Oh yeah, Harvey Keitel is in there cowering. The ghost is in. The ghost is in Basil Bub's lap, getting pet like a cat. The ghost did his job perfectly.
Yeah.
Harvey
he's
fucked up.
The cat is kind of like sneering with satisfaction at Keitel getting chewed out.
Oh yeah,
That old trope.
this is the opportunity for somebody to hit the button and for Harvey to fall down a shaft of fire. Not another 1,000 years in hell. Down you go.
Oh, does he gets the nose in the book penalty?
Yeah. But yes, this is an opportune moment for the next time gadget next time.
I like that.
And I think that wraps up our longest remaster that turned out to be a total rewrite.
Yeah, that was crazy. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, it turns out the ghost was only a secondary character now, and there was no ghost hunter.
That's pretty cool. I like how, we ironed that chaos out into a lovely little story.
A lovely big story. We go all the way to Russia.
Yeah, a lovely big story, I should say. Okay, well, yeah, I think that is the entire thing then.
That's a wrap, everybody.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks everybody for joining us. This was another episode of the Tucker and Toddcast.
So, everybody, I've been
Yeah.
Tucker.
I've been Todd.
This has been our writer's room.
And you've been our... I can't think of words. You have been
Our
patient
beloved
guest,
audience.
Our beloved
Yeah.
audience. Our
we love you.
enthralled... Yeah, we love you,
We
mommy.
love you.
You've been our mommy.
Except for you. You
Yeah.
know who you are.
Good night, everyone. Bye.
Good night.